Hi guys, so yeah, I've got 1000 R&D, so I'm just going to see what I can do. This is part 2 of my F125 my team. I'm just at the top of this R&D chart by the tiniest bit. As you can see, I think I'm going to get more chassis and aerodynamics done. So that I don't have enough of that, so I'm going to go aerodynamics and see if we can do that. And that's unavailable. So chassis is available. Start research, there we go. So I've got some on the way. Now I'm just going to go into the race now. Go to race weekend. So this is dry quali in China, and then I've got the race to do. So yeah. Yes, I'm just managed to bag people, and I'm sure Verstappen is very upset with that. I'm sure he's furious in the cockpit and is demanding an investigation into this team's car. And, and especially my teammates just managed to bag P7 as well, just so this car has got a pace. 5 tenths is pretty close. Only 1.9 seconds just off the fastest lap for lowest pace is pretty close as well. Because if that is going to be just pace like that in the race, it's going to be the sort of situation there's going to be close racing, I would say, because maybe on the first lap or two, but eventually the leaders are going to get the pace and stuff to be able to gap people about a few distance behind them, But then the thing is, with real life, like, what makes F1 interesting is if there's a safety car that comes out, or there's a crash, how do people deal with it? Because if there was never any crashes, there was never any safety car, it'll be more, or well, there would have to be some form of safety issue if there is a big crash, but you know what I'm saying. It would be kind of an easy situation to just drive away, and people wouldn't want that. So yeah. I would love Verstappen to just get absolutely sent. Not sent, but like get overtaken, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. Now Verstappen's going to apply some pressure on me. I didn't really consent to that pressure, but it's racing. He's desperate for that P1. I've made a mistake there, so he's going to get ahead of me momentarily. But I'm going to get back ahead of him because I've got a better run on the corner. And also it's quite slippery, so if someone slides, the person behind might have to take a careful approach entry, which sacrifices, for example, in the draft it went deep, they would have been able to get the move done, but because it's wet, they have to be more careful of how they do it. I'm sure the Red Bull is going to be looking to get her out the back of me on this straight here. I'm going to try and cause a bit of a situation here to try and help my teammate catch up, if you know what I mean. So yeah. I'm going to try and apply a lot of pressure and cause a lot of... I'm going to try and go really slow on here, so it kind of causes a, not a pile-up, but just kind of a situation, if you know what I mean. Now I'm going to break a little bit of hair, and I'm going to go ultra defensive to really slow these two down. I'm going to go for the run here. I'm going to get a line so it's hard to get any sort of move. I'm going to try and park it on the apex so it's hard to do anything. Now, if it was a track like Monaco, like, it would be easier to cause a pile up. It really would, but yeah, on a track like this, it's just not easy. I've totally messed that up. No, what's happened to my teammate? No, my teammate's been demoted to P8. This is not good. I got a bit wide in this corner. I'm imagining a season in real life where Verstappen has the most DNFs in the first 10 rounds than he has in his whole life. You know, that would be a really big situation, and like, knowing him, he's probably going to find a way to make a comeback, but I would love to see how many less points he would score from that. I really would, just not just because I don't like him, but because he's so dominant in the sport, it just becomes boring in a way, I would say, but then, so, yeah, and he's a good driver, yeah, I ain't going to deny that, but I just don't like his dominance, I really don't. I think it's like, it's not, in a way, yes, it ruins the sport, but it's also the fact that because he's so dominant, people like will just keep voting for him for driver of the day and stuff. Because he's so good, he's the easier option. People won't want to give people other people a chance at it. You might be getting a fast snap here in this round for Verstappen, but you won't be in other rounds. Trust me, buddy. Trust me. Verstappen's actually got a bit of a gap, to be fair, so I don't know why he's got the fastest lap. I'm trying to really push my car to the limits and push the potential for an overtake in every corner. I really am. I'm trying to get as much braking distance done through every single corner closed. Because, you know, it is wet, so I can't really go for that sort of speed through, not through this corner, but corner after this, because I just don't have a run. No car has got the steering really to go that fast through a corner. Now look at that gap, bro. That I've got 1.3 and I'm gaining. I had to go for a move because he was slowing me down. Well, no, I managed to steal a fastest lap. But is that going to be enough to get the lead? Probably not. But we're going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to. You never know, Verstappen might have a bad last lap. He might lose a lot of time through some sectors. Now I've got to try and piece together my lap here to get that run. Gonna have to resume that because I just didn't brake in time. I just broke far too late. Especially now it's starting to chuck it down, I realise the conditions are a bit more difficult. I'm gonna have to resume it even more. It's gonna become even more of a challenge now, especially with only about one and a half left of a lap. If I can get Piastri around here, then I won't lose as much time. I'm going to go for it here and I'm going to get it done. Now I'm about 3 seconds behind Max, so I just need to close the gap massively now. Morses and Piastri still trying to hunt me down. They seem to have the straight line speed, they just do. There's just no way that's going to work. Maybe can I get another slight fastest lap just to secure it? Yes, I do. Unless someone else got it. Unless someone else did, because he got a 51.9. I got a 51.8, I believe it was. So, that's just fast enough. That's going to be decent points for James Racing today. Obviously, Colapinto did lose a place, but at the end of the day, it is not the worst. We've got the points. We've probably jumped over a place and the things. No, we've stayed in P4 in the constructors, but we have made a bit of ground up. I'm pretty sure before we were, I think, yeah. anyway, that's the end of today's video. So I'm going to go ahead and do the next round on F124, I suppose. So yeah. Now just to show the progress is saved, I will just go back in to show it says round 3. And also for myself, just to know the progress is saved, because it should always save. Career, my team, yeah, round 3.